You see Calc down to Booga in the zone. Furious on the backside. You
Oh
lost
my
track
God.
of him. Christ, you knew he was.
Yeah.
As Furious picks left, has to drop down, goes toe to toe, and we know how first and second from the.
It's kind of the same thing. You're playing around player tendencies. If there's a person early game that likes to push you very hard, playing passively, hiding out, not making noise, a very smart play to make and usually works. It's the same thing we were talking about with Neon. If you have a certain way of winning in day one and people review after that day, catch onto it, they start to put some counter plays down, they take height more aggressively, you're not as comfortable. You get got, you know, it's a bait and switch. Right now, though, Furious, I feel like we see this next to water every single time. I think we saw Bully doing it at one point yesterday on NA East. People just like to
Bully
pinpoint
Island.
and see if fights can break out. Yeah, and then easily just third-party these fights. There's nowhere to run with the water. You're forced to build a little bit more and just, you know, you're exposed to all sides. And Furious picks up an easy one there to start up and ramp up his points. And I got to talk to him, actually, Sancho, earlier on. He expected to actually place top 5 after day one, even though he knew he was slightly below, right? So far, Game 3, not the performance he was expecting, but I feel like with that mindset in mind, if he's not just trying to get by in the competition, we might see some great things from him in this endgame.
Coming from the reboot round with 69 points, had a pretty highlight moment there against Unknown with the quickscope, so that might be something that we could see right here because he has the heavy sniper in hand. He has a pad as well, some viable loot in his box. And now he's looking around for another box to kind of jump into with this heavy sniper. Clicks, notorious being a box fighter, notorious for wiping his hands clean when he gets an elimination with that towel. And Clicks gets spicy and no doubt wiping his hands clean with that elim.
Furious looking a lot more healthier. Durant taken out by Clicks down below. It's going to be an operation from both low and height. If you're mid ground right now, you're in trouble. So Furious, in one of the worst positions, has to find a way to make this work. A lot of loot available, has the drop down, not the coherent finish though. A second tag, a third to wrap it up, yes. And it's on Clicks, who had the grappler. Now in a 4-man endgame, he has one of the most powerful weapons and the biggest momentous swing compared to everyone else in the server. He goes up for his Sancho. He's trying to end everyone off.
Furious has all the recipe he needs to put this all together for a victory royale. 119 points, and this is going to be a strong opportunity to possibly get into the top 3. And now it's his opportunity right now to get this done as Mega, who's still around. No doubt Bizzle and Eclipse are rooting on for their former partner in Mega to get this job done. Who Fishy is all the way on the bottom. So now we have Mega and Jelty at the mid ground. We have Furious at the high ground. So we're going to see exactly what happens if Furious almost kind of live, drops it right there. It's between Mega and Furious. There's a battle at the low between Fishy. Furious with the big hit. Only down to 62 HP. He's going to have to find an opportunity to breathe, but Mega's not going to let him do it, and he gets Mega in that 50 HP siphon, and now it's a 1v1 situation. Who Fishy versus Furious. Furious driving at a quarter mile at a time, but then gets crashed down by that rocket launcher. Who Fishy with a 148 point performance, 40 limbs, and the victory royale.
Yeah, I guess he's got time to. That zone was very close. Just outside Sweaty is a big base where he can finally get a lot of materials. Furious, one of those players in the top 5 who's had that legendary run through the reboot round. Came second in reboot round overall. Can he pull it off today? Nice, he's trying to find some elimination. Does knocks him down, and that's 4 more points. 160 points. That puts him up into second place now, overtaking Kanata if he hasn't got any eliminations here. So Furious proving that this format with the reboot round was worth having. These are great additions into this finals because Furious might just take it here today. He's got so many players up there who can still take out and jump up in the first.
And now you see Roller on the front side of the zone, fired, shooting back across it. We're going to hop on board here with Furious, a player who was in 4th going into this match as he picks up another elimination there. Zum going down. He is on the low ground, which means action is going to be happening all around him. You can see him desperately trying to make sure that heavy sniper is reloaded for a push. Has a solid amount of mats here going into the end game as Hornet drops Bizzle just inside of the top 20.
I'm in a food coma, yeah. I'm slowly fucking...
66 mats, huge
holy
dropping around the side, does need to make sure he covers himself there. 7 HP flopper goes off just in time. 37 HP. He has 3 more. Does he go for the shot or the flopper?
Oh my God.
The player across from him is getting the backup with the zone. You see Calc down to Booga in the zone. Furious on the backside. You lost track of him. Christ, you knew he was there.
Fuck
as Furious picks up its 4th elimination, and now he's running through on the tarp. Has plenty of mats again. We talked about it as we move back over the swamps in the water. You want these materials. Comment on going down in 11th as we close in on the top 10, but it's all on Furious.
It is. Furious has jumped ahead of this one. Kanata went down in the feed, which means this is Furious's chance to jump up. We've lost all those players in the top 5. I believe it is just down to Furious now to try and close this one out. SF Rolo had a crazy run yesterday as Furious gets Sis lucky. He might break the 200 points here. 192 points. 5 players alive. Has the loadout to finish this one out. Has no builds left. Has to drop down. Goes toe-to-toe. And we know how good Furious is toe-to-toe. Takes down Spark. This is a 6th elimination run here. There's only 3 opponents to deal with. 2 opponents to deal with. Furious gets the map refresh now. It's a 1v1v1. He's losing out on his match though. He's being sprayed from high ground and low ground. He's getting focused. Only has the 1 flopper. Needs to close this one out. SF Roller in front of him. Furious versus Roller. First and second from the reboot round. The 2 reboot stories. They almost come
7 kills,
Furious
second place. Popped
seconds,
off hard.
But 210
You got more points than Jock did, didn't he?
210 points. Furious had a massive performance.
Huge from Furious there. Roller, the week 2 winner, rounding it out in 3rd. And then Jacques from the high ground taking the victory royale. Furious really kind of putting the pedal to the metal there, claiming the eliminations. And the big thing is utilizing all of those extra builds, getting the key refreshes, and honestly being in spots to hit the big time pumps on the people who needed to be pumped.
Guys, this is coming down to the wire. These standings have floppered back and forth. Jock there picking up a big, don't do that, big victory out there. He was in 11th place with 100 and, thanks man. He was in 11th place with 140 points. Could this victory out be enough to make him contest for top 5? We've got to look at the standings. That is the ultimate storyteller here. So many players. Furious could have made a fantastic run, but keep in mind he was still placed top 3. So this is still a big point of elimination, or excuse me, big points from placements on top of his elimination.
We're gonna have to throw to the standings and see where he fell after all of that. I have to think he's in first place. He is on 210 points, the biggest lead we've seen pretty much anyone have in first place out of NA East.
And on top of that, Jock jumps up from 11th. I mean, Kanata's holding 4th, Zayd in 5th. So now this is anyone's game, man.
As we see, Furious is sandwiched between Legendia and an Unknown, and that is a precarious position to be in.
That's not someone you want to be set up next. So as soon as I see Unknown's name next to Furious, and I pointed out the loadout he had before, and Unknown is one of those players known for just being like leaving it all out there. Look, I've had a good tournament, but I want to have a great tournament. I want to go strong towards the end. And he had that legendary pump in the back pocket. So Furious still looking pretty good though. Obviously he doesn't know that. And again, you've got to assume everyone around you is a top-notch player. Has the launch pad still in zone. Pulls pretty close. Furious maybe getting a little bit, I don't want to say lucky, but he's finally having fate go towards his way at the very end here to close this one out. I saw Jark, who looked like he was in a pretty good position as well. I think we still have Kanata, Neon, and Zayt still in this one. So everyone in the top 5 still alive as far as I'm aware, unless you've seen something I haven't, Sundown. We have all those names there. So far, I think all of the top 7 are all still in this one. So it's going to close out. And again, we've been focusing on first place, but there's so many placements up for grabs here. And who can jump up? Who can still kind of shuffle their way up through this leaderboard? As we see Furious now watching people go over him, just sitting nice and pretty in his metal, kind of being a little bit relaxed, seeming like he's playing all right, coming to check out this going. They're so close together in competitive Fortnite. Everyone is just shoulder to shoulder, wall to wall. And Furious needs to just kind of stay safe here, trying to, and then look, there it is. So we got to be careful as well. You don't want to make too much noise, alert everyone the fact that you're here. So trying to relax out a little bit as we get a very, very, I want to say vanilla zone. There's a bit of water. We've got a bit of a hill, some trees, but this is going to close out in a relatively okay area for a lot of these players. We can see an airdrop coming down here towards Furious's direction as well, which means it's guaranteed launch pad there as well in case he needs it. All these little things, all these little bits of information are going to help these players so much close this one out. And we've seen it a few times in solos as well. We've seen great final game performance. There's nothing better than winning your last game, even if it jumps you up in so many points, just to stand victorious as you are victorious. And Kanata picks up an elimination, which can jump him up there as well, with only 1 point separating him from 3rd. So Neon maybe saw that one and realized there's a bit of pressure on him too now.
And we talk about it's not just the first place implications that go on here. We saw Wave Flick over in EU have a $39,000 game, jumping him up into 6th place there. You can still be a hero and make a name for yourself in the final match.
$39,000 in one game. Is Scoped doing the same thing here, jumping himself straight up through here. Got a nice little spot for Kanata. He's looking pretty good. Good loadout too. The purple pump on Kanata. He has incredibly accurate aim when it comes to those end games, those purple pumps. Has so much practice in solos, like I said, competing and taking all those cash cups, all those in-game tournaments so seriously. So this end game here is just looking like any other day in the park for him. Don't know if he's feeling too nervous. We'll have to see, as Rogue Shark getting beamed up on the edge, trying to find his way in. We do see Mega, who's still in here as well, and Vexy looking like he's in a nice spot on the high ground. Zate just one stop below that as Bizzle trying to make his way back in. Had a really unfortunate last few games, but could still have a phenomenal last performance as Scope gets another elim. Unknown gets another elim as well. So Scope jumping up higher and higher. Assault inside his box right now. That is massive. That could have jumped him out of his top 5. Assault still having it going toe-to-toe, surviving that one. Still has the floppers, has the minis, the aggressive push not working, and now his loadout's even better for it with 4 points extra.
And now has the heavy snipe and the rocket combo as we're moving in the half in, half out. Jacques picks up an elimination onto Avery, so trying to climb back up there as Assault continues rotating around the side. Again, it's all about eyes on Furious as Jacques has the high ground, but he's also battling Unknown over there. You see Illis over on the low ground as we pan out. Mega still in the lobby. Canada rotating towards the front. Eclipse picks up Joey just inside our top 40. Another placement point going down. But again, just trying to keep an eye on that top left corner, keeping an eye on anybody in the top 5. Canada was pushed up towards there. Miro picks up Timber's P-God. Still just trying to rotate into zone. He has priority, and it's pulling a little bit back towards some of these old builds, but he needs to be careful as pretty much everyone is going to have to rotate back past him. He's going to be looking for ambush eliminations here, but I'm not super hopeful in that, honestly.
Let's see. It's coming to the final game, guys. This is game 12. This is where we make celebrities. Fortnite makes overnight celebrities. Furious, not an unknown name, but this could be his chance to become the next big thing in competitive Fortnite. Winning NA East, being the solo champion. Oh, as we see Deegan going down. Kanata maybe wanting to battle for that one as well. A big name in his own right. We're going to crown a champion, and we're going to find out who is, in NA East, the best competitive solo player in arguably one of the most competitive regions. It is a mantle anyone would be proud to hold, but even a top 5, top 3, those finishes are still incredible and do such a big thing for these young pro players' careers too.
Collazo took down Neon during that rotation, so that was one of our top 5 who got dropped. As we hop on board with Furious, he's doing fine. 469 above, but he is completely out of builds. 33 players remaining still, so tons of Fortnite to be played as we're in the 6th zone, and our current leader is out of builds, but 238 tags in a white. Can it be enough? He has to get this elimination. He's trying to push forward. Jaybird picks up class in the feed. Furious could be able to clutch it up here if he's able to get a refresh. Gets pushed back, though. No more builds. He's completely at the mercy of the players around him. He goes down outside the top 30. Scope picks up Legend DN, so it is open for somebody to take it out, but as we say that, Polarize picks up Jock. Jock is now out. The main contender is out, and it is all down to whether Canada or Assault can make enough of a run and get enough points to contend towards the top. We hop on board with Assault as he's floppering out in the storm and going for the high ground. This is one of the players who could contend for it, as Canada also picks up Miro. Those are the 2 names you want to watch as we close out NA East here.
Yeah, we do. We have so many of the players going down in that top 4, so we're looking at Assault, we're looking at Kanata. I think Mega might still be in this one, as Zate did go down. They can jump themselves up high as Assault is jumping down here. Only has 15 builds left to his name, finds himself in a very precarious situation in this box. Has those floppers, has no shield, just trying to get into a box of his own as all these players are making their way through. 17 alive. Scoped picks up another elimination. This is a massive game for Scoped. I think you're going to see him catapult through the leaderboard as Saf picks up an elimination too. Assault gets a little bit of breathing room. Top 15 now. He's going to start finding his way through. He's going to find his way through that player. He makes his way through, takes down Showbean. Kalazo goes down in the feed. Assault making a good run for this, as Kanata is a name I have not seen in the feed. He is somewhere here, and he is racking up points as well. No, he goes down. Mega gets the elim, so it's Mega and Assault, those 2 players who have massive chance of jumping themselves up through the leaderboard, Sundown.
Eyes are all in Assault right now, trying to make the run, and as we say that, he gets blasted, but blast right back. Scoped gets taken down. His run ends at the hands of the other controller god Assault, and the Siphon being just enough to keep him up as he pushes forward to the top 5. 188 points. You got Eclipse up on the high ground. The other part of that trio, Mega underneath him, Assault just above, and then you have TJ down on the low ground, rounding out the top 4. Assault looking to find it with the rocket, finds run down, and TJ goes down on the low ground now. Stand sandwich between Mega and Eclipse. Can Assault take out either side of the bread and get enough points? 197 right now, trying to push forward with both the elims and the victory. It could be enough to catch Roller if he does absolutely everything you can see him looking for, but shot through the tree. Veteran Eclipse shuts down Assault's run, and that's going to be that as Eclipse and Mega battle it out to close out NA East.
They go toe-to-toe right now, and Eclipse has to have the loadout advantage. He has the pump in hand. Mega takes a heavy shot, has those floppers, has those minis, but the pressure on the wall does not stop. It is relentless here. Mega goes down. Eclipse taking him out. Two of the biggest names in competitive Fortnite. Still a huge run from Mega there. You have to think, Sundown, did he hold on to it? Did Furious hold on to it as that just shook up massively towards the end? That top 5 just got completely jumbled up there.
This is the top 100 in across FNCS Grand Finals, right? This is the very tippity top of the competition. So even if they didn't place necessarily where they'd hoped for, they're still the top 1% of Fortnite competitive, right? These guys should be feeling really strong about their performance, happy that they placed where they did, and happy to participate. But with that being said, let's do it, guys. Let's take a look at the standings. Did Furious hold on? Did he fall back? Did he falter? The standings are confirmed. Furious there, holding it down, 217 points. Our FNCS Invitational champion in NA East. Assault, though, with that last little bit, jumped up in a second.